Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Five of Stones in Endurance. And when the card first came up, my initial thought on this was, okay, we're talking about protection, right? But when I laid the card down with the rest of the cards during the week, what really caught my attention, okay, was the upward momentum that we see in the cards. All right. You've got the bear standing up. You got the salmon. You've got the lynx climbing in the trees. And you got the four bows, the fire for the celebration, all lifting up. Okay. So I don't know if you can really, see that, but there's to me, that's a lot of upward mobility. Okay. With the lynx in the trees. The bear standing up at the cave, looking out over the ledge, standing up. And then you got the salmon trying to get up the stream. All right. The breath of life, that smoke moving up into the air. The arrow pointing into the air right there in the center of the card. And in today's card with that Five of Stones in Endurance, the smoke from the fire, that little fire that, this person has and lift into the air. So, to me, this is a lot of, I felt like this was a spiritual week that we were going through, that we were working on our spiritual core, our spiritual discipline. All right. And this is, confirmation and verification for me that we're on the right path because everything's being uplifted. Okay. Everything's being, brought to a different level. We are, almost graduating to a different level of our spiritual engagement, on our spiritual path. And, I kind of look at the vision that's coming to mind as like a DNA strand. And we're walking that DNA strand as we're going around on that conical. Okay, and as we go around to the conical, we reach a different level. And, once we reach that different level, we can look back at everything that's transpired. We can look down that DNA strand, all right, and see us from that first day of walking on our spiritual path. The first day that we're here on earth, walking, learning, talking, and the different people that have come into your life to help you understand that spiritual path that you're on. Your parents, your grandparents, cousins, people that, met in elementary school that you're still friends with, people that, have transpired over the years. And in talking to those that are older about their lives, your grandparents, what was life like when you were, in the 20s? And listening to the stories. And then, it appears to you that, life is an endurance journey. Our spiritual path is an endurance journey. Okay? And endurance just doesn't happen over, one day. It's day after day after day after day. It's commitments, right? It's dedication to that journey that you're on. And that's what this little guy represents. It's that dedication. Even though there's a storm on the horizon, he was dedicated enough to bring, some wood with him. All right. Maybe he had, something to light that fire with. And he realizes, you're this little person, you realize that, the challenges in life take strength and courage to continue moving on. Look at, if this is a relationship, look at those relationships that last 30, 40, 50, 60 years and listen to their stories. Those stories of hardship, those stories of plenty, those stories of happiness, those stories of loneliness. And yet those couples have endured for 50 years being with each other. Okay? And, even at work, I'm sure there are people that have been there 30, 40, 50 years. And you think to yourself, man, You know, they were here back, you know, I knew a gal that was working, and I started and they already had 25 years in. During that tenure that I was at work, they did another 25 years. They were there for 50 years. And they've transitioned from one company to another company to another company. And they were good at what they did. And in the end, they were there for 50 years. They endured the hardships, the changeover, the different bosses. Okay? They went through and seen old concepts into new concepts. That breath of life. How they adapted, how they overcame different regimes within the organization, different departments, remodeling, right? Upgrading, technology. They endured those challenges. And through those challenges, they had to be strong. They had to be patient. They had to have some courage. And now, you know, this card comes up, and it's an opportunity to focus on the issues at hand. All right, while you're being protected by that Queen of Vessels and the salmon, the Queen of Stones and the bear. She's really the protector of all the land. The salmon's going to protect her, you know, protect herself to get to the nesting ground for her eggs. All right, and now's a good time to, you know, be protected. You know, we've got, you know, in the fall, we've got, you know, the leaves falling, it's getting colder. All right, you're going to want to stay inside more. And when you do that, you're kind of hibernating, you know, and the soul is hibernating. It's waiting for that next step. All right, and with our soul and our spirit engaging in life, it's good to sit back and be protected in life as well. So, you know, endurance and spirit are the qualities of a spiritual warrior. And you have to have those qualities in order to move forward, especially on your spiritual path, because things are hard. Things are difficult. There's a lot of negativity out there in the world. But if you can shut all that off, if you could shut all that negativity off, the negative comments, the negative political atmosphere, the negative on the wars, if you can shut all that off and find peace and serenity within your own soul, then you can sit here by the fire, be warm, and have that desire and willpower that's necessary and vital to take on the rest of the challenges that are ahead of you. You know, you can't solve the political crisis. You can't solve the wars that are going on. All right? But what you can do is work on yourself. You can work on your spirit. You can work on your path. And if you can find that moment of serenity, moment of peace through meditation or just daydreaming, right? You can look back at that fire and gaze into it. And it catches your gaze. And you just get lost for a moment. And you can feel it. You can feel the soft, you know, you can feel spirit talking to you. You can feel the universe talking to you. And it feels good. And the universe is letting you know you've endured. You've endured the path that's been set upon you. You continue to shine. You continue to do well. Yeah, there's storms approaching, but you have a fire to protect you. You have stones to protect you. You're smart enough to come out of this rain and out of this storm into some sort of protection. So take that as, you know, a pat on the back, a job well done. Because your spiritual path is uplifting you. It's uplifting you in celebration. It's uplifting you in, you know, making space for other things coming into your life. It's also making, you know, that opportunity for you to learn from situations. It's letting you know that, you know what, even though the smoke and the spirit's enchanting you, you continue to do the right things. You continue to get stronger. You can continue to have more courage. And you not only protect yourself, you protect those that you love at work and at home. in that thought process that comes along, that Ace of Arrows, it's all very clear now. You can see the path. Tomorrow may be a different day, but in your mind's eye, you see the path of your spiritual journey. And as you continue to walk it, as you continue to climb those mountains, as you continue to walk into those valleys, you're protected. The universe has you. Spirit has you. So that's today's card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, that Five of Stones and Endurance. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.